All right, so let's talk about the Trump thing. So with Trump, I'm just, but and that's an economic lesson, and I always have to circle back on that to make sure you understand. Whenever we're talking about this, we're talking about economics. Look at some of the wealthiest people on earth. They usually run in groups and gangs. It's usually like a family that's really wealthy, or a corporation, which is like an economic family. That's what leads to power and wealth. Groups, gangs, connections, right? If you can't keep the band together, then you ain't gonna make no music. So really, that ability to keep the group together, is something that I believe is worth an investment in terms of learning how to to work through those differences. I have a friend named Dr. George James who does something similar to what my wife does. And what George does is black families that want to build generational wealth will fly him in as a therapist to sit down with everybody in the family and make sure that they iron out their disagreements so they can be productive. He makes sure everybody's heard and that all disputes and grievances are dealt with, so you don't have disputes sort of messing up things. Like you look at how many times family businesses get destroyed because one person has a misunderstanding with another one. It happens all the time. All right, now let's go back to the Trump thing. Okay, so with Trump, um, so this thing with Lisa Cook, let me just say this: the reason he was trying to fire Lisa Cook is mainly and it's on my Instagram if you want to go sort of read into it. In fact, I'll pull it up on my Instagram so you can see it. But Lisa Cook, who's a black woman, the reason Trump definitely wants to get rid of her is because he's really looking to get rid of anybody on the board of governors that does not support his goal of reducing interest rates. Most economic experts feel that reducing interest rates too much right now could be a problem because you could cause runaway inflation. And what was determined was that when Trump got Lisa Cook fired, and I think she sued, and I don't know the status of the lawsuit. I got to look that up. I think that she may have got reinstated. I'm not sure. Y'all got to help me with that. But when he got her fired and she sued, she was accused of quote unquote potentially criminal conduct. And these were mortgage documents that appeared to show her pledging two different homes as her primary residence. That's hardly, gangbanger stuff. It's not like she's a threat to society. She just made a mistake on a mortgage application, in my opinion. Or maybe she didn't maybe it wasn't a mistake. Maybe if it was deliberate, then okay, like what's the penalty, right? I don't think she should lose her job. But it also says that Scott Bessent, who's a billionaire that is Trump's Treasury Secretary, he also did the same thing. Now he happens to be of a different complexion, and it says here that he signed mortgages on a Bedford Hills, New York manor and a Provincetown, Massachusetts beach house, each of which was designated as his principal residence. Both loans, part of a $21 million financing package, came from Bank of America. The bank later confirmed it understood the homes to be secondary properties. Mortgage experts said such contradictions are common paperwork quirks, not fraud, right? So let me ask you this. So here we have an example where Donald Trump wanted the black lady fired because she did something wrong on her mortgage application. At the same time, his white male Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent pretty much did the same thing. Give me a yes or no. Would you define this to be racism? Would you define this to be racially disparate treatment? Yes or no? Would you say, or I don't know. I'm curious. I mean, some of y'all are Republicans. I'd be curious to also hear what my Republican friends think too. Because I told you I don't care what your political party is. I just want you to get rich. All right, because I need rich friends. I need to be surrounded. That's my dream. 30 years from now, I want to go to the All Black National Convention and say this is the Black Millionaires Conference. I literally want all of y'all to be doing extremely well. That's what I care about. Democrat, Republican, I don't care. All right, so Diane says no, but everyone else says yes. So I haven't seen any other no's, and I respect your opinion as well, Diane, and that's totally fine. Okay, so let me ask you another question. Give me a yes or no. How many of you have experienced situations where you felt that race was a factor in whether or not you got the job, whether or not you were the one that they chose to lay off, or you were the one that they chose for the promotion? Yes or no? How many of you have had that experience as a black person?